Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for a reading. We're going to see what the energy is for today and the next few days. Let's call on our guides. Archangel Michael. I just heard Mother Mary too for some reason. I never usually call her in. We're calling in Mother Mary, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Bless me. Bless my cards. Bless my beautiful viewers and subbies. Like, comment, subscribe if you have not already. Let's get these messages out there to more people. This Palo Santo smells so delish. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I feel guided to start with Kyle Gray's Angel Guide Oracle. So they're beautiful orange cards. The smoke is gonna drive me nuts. So we're gonna slide it out here. Okay. Orange deck, really beautiful cards. We have intuition and downloads at the bottom of the deck, which is symbolic of the subconscious mind, which I like to call the imagination station. It's in the back of your head. It is where God lives. It's where the universe lives. It enters through your spine and it goes in. And I'm making this up. This is just how I envision it. It's like source energy coming through us and it moves us through our spine, right? And we have to get our ego out of the way and receive these intuitions and downloads. And that's why meditation is so great. Because it slows down that mind and how manic it can be. And it really, truly allows us to hear what we need to hear. This card kind of just bent. Did you guys see that? Oh, as I said, so we can hear, listen deeply. And I think it's so unique that I had mentioned that it comes in from behind us. So this could be a spirit guide, an angel, putting their hands on your shoulders. You're putting your hand on your heart. You're receiving the intuition, the downloads. You're listening. And look at the colors in that card. It's so freaking beautiful. This could also be a divine feminine and a divine masculine coming together. And she's assisting him as he's healing. She's allowing him to receive and to feel. Divine masculines, usually most men, they need us feminines to share how we feel so they can tap into what that might be like in their body too. So we're like the portal. We're the portal for them to feel. And that's why they love being around us, because when they're around us, we make them feel alive. Like, ladies, do not dim down who you are. The feminine's biggest worry is that we're too much. The masculine's biggest worry is that they're not enough. And it's so funny because if you think about the physical nature of our bodies, is the masculine penetrates the feminine, right? He has to fill her. So of course, even like physically, they have this insecurity, like, am I big enough? Am I enough for her? It's literally like the womb space energy. Can they fill us? Can they make us happy in our lives? Can they make us emotionally happy? And we know on a spiritual journey, it is not their job to initially make us happy. They're just supposed to enhance our happiness. They're supposed to make our life easier. They're supposed to ask us what our needs are, and we have to know what our needs are. And we ask of them, hey, could you do this for me? And then they show up and they fill us, technically, energy wise, or even physically. They fill us. And then we just get amplified. We then feel safe in the world because they're like, it's like almost like this energy. If you switch it up, if you put a feminine sitting down and the masculine behind her, that technically is that like safety energy. The masculine's there to kind of hold you, and then you can just be free flowing and live life and don't worry about being too much and just be yourself. So first message. Wow. Second message, I'm going to take this too. Blessings and abundance. So when you two come together and the wind is blowing like crazy. I have like a tapestry on my outside balcony wall, and it's like totally flying in the wind. It's so beautiful. So that's symbolic of like everything's going to flow. And it almost looks like this, like her wings, the colors look like my tapestry, and it's flowy. When you two come together, it's just blessings upon blessings and abundance and love and just so much goodness. All right, actually, let's do one more. And my nose is starting to run. My guides, I'm clairsentient, so my guides make my body feel a certain way, and they bring messages through. I don't know what this is all about. They bring a lot of messages through, and it is my job to interpret. And I just heard that some masculines, they're so logical and they're so like by the book that sometimes they might look at you over analyzing things when really it's you using your gifts to interpret what spirit is trying to tell both of you. So sometimes if your masculine's a little closed off to this lifestyle, just let him be that way. He's learning, and he's maybe never lived with somebody like you. And he's eventually, spirit will use him through your feelings and emotions to feel what this feels like, to see how the universe works through us and guides us. Spiritual growth. Yep, perfect. So the masculine might be going through some awakening energy, some spiritual growth, opening themselves up. I just saw somebody completely opening up and expanding themselves and feeling so warm. And I am like so overheating right now, taking the scarf off. But they're going to be opening up and really being like, wow, like my feminine might be right. Like, wow, I wonder if this really does mean something, or if this sign means I should go here, or if I should take action on this project, right? The feminine is the portal for wisdom. The masculine leads, but the masculine relies on the feminine sometimes for her wisdom. The chameleon, soul tribe, it is safe to be seen. Okay, I'm going to get more messages on this because I just heard like so many different thoughts in my head. Like it's safe for this couple to be seen, or maybe you're being seen by others and you're being judged, and spirit saying like, come out of your cave, like it's safe to be seen. So let's get some confirmation on that with Micah Magic. It is safe to be seen. Wow, they need space. You are the king or queen, never settle. So just like back in the old days, right, when the king and queen, maybe there's two people that, maybe there's somebody the king didn't want, or the community didn't want the king and the queen to be together, right? Maybe they had judgment around it. Maybe they didn't support it. And the king had to figure it out. He had to figure out, all right, how am I going to do this? Or maybe the queen fell in love with one of the community workers or something. I don't know. But a lot of times in our lives, we are attracted to certain people for lessons, and we're supposed to be with people, and we have to transcend the barriers around society's expectations and, if you will, like why can't I spirit help me think of the word? It's like our judgments of who we think people should be with. We have no idea. Love is love, and we do not judge. We do not place opinions on who people should be with. We have no idea. We've never even lived in their bodies once to understand what their lives have been like. What if they're the most amazing couple together and they emanate so much light, and maybe the world is a little dark and they don't want that light? So that could be that too. The chameleon might mean like, hey, two people are about to be together, but they're really scared of the judgment of others. And I just heard that, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you watch like celebrity couples, or maybe people that are just Instagram famous or TikTok famous, I love seeing how people have partners prior to their end game meaning like the person they're going to marry, the person they're going to be with forever. I love seeing how God makes them date somebody that looks just like their end game. Isn't that wild? Have you guys ever seen that? Where, somebody's really dating somebody, maybe it's from like a TV show or like Big Brother, or I think it's Sofia Vergara. Do you guys know her? I don't know if they were married. Is it Joe Manganello or something? I don't know his name, but those two were together for a while, and then he ended up dating somebody else, and she looks just like Sophia, but she's not famous. She's like kind of like a really sweet, um, behind the scenes type of girl. And I love that, like, you could tell that the relationship with Sophia might have been like ego driven. It might have been like, oh, this person has status and they're like me and they get me and they understand this lifestyle of being in the limelight and all these things. But that maybe wasn't really truly who Joe was, right? So when the ego masks come off, those relationships fall away, and then the true partnership comes in. And sometimes the true partnership is just so sweet and gentle, and they're more you. And a lot of times they look like an ex, which I just think it's so fascinating. I'm like such a lover of that. I love seeing people moving partnerships and being like, "Ooh, who dated somebody that looked like somebody else?" There's somebody else who I wanted to mention, and I can't think of who, but it's wild how it happens all the time. There was a couple from Big Brother. I don't know if you guys watch that show, but there was Tyler and um, Tyler. He was like from South Carolina, blonde, curly hair, surfer. He's like a lifeguard, and he dated a girl, and then they ended up breaking up, and they were so cute. I love them together, but they ended up breaking up, and then she ended up dating um, a guy from another country who was also really into cooking, just like she was. And he had blonde curly hair, like literally looks just like Tyler. So it's wild how that happens. Okay, we have rainbows. This is a sign your happy ending is coming. We got this in the weekly reading. And for some reason, I put that underneath, you are a king or queen, never settle. So somebody needs space. I don't know if I said that. Somebody needs space to figure this out. Um, they don't know how to bring you into their reality. Maybe it's somebody that's famous that's going to be coming in and dating somebody that's not famous. You are the magician, money is on the way. I just heard too that God sometimes makes you date people that look alike, or maybe they have similar names, or maybe their last name is similar to their end game's first name. So there's all these little synchronicities, but you are the magician and money's on the way. So you have created this new abundance, this new love that's on the way, and keep going, keep manifesting it, keep the end result in your imagination. So I was just listening to a video before filming this, and it was all about the only thing that gets in the way of our manifestations is our wounding, right? And our wounding informs our thoughts, right? So if we are wounded, then we're going to think thoughts about that wounding, and then that's going to generate a feeling, and the universe is vibrational. So our feelings, it's what the universe is responding to. So if we can get into a state of feeling good, then we can achieve and manifest the things that we want, right? But how do we get to feeling good? We have to go to our feelings first, right? And then it's almost like reverse engineering. Then we go to our thoughts and be like, all right, what's informing our feelings, our thoughts? What's informing our thoughts, our traumas, our nervous system, our subconscious mind? So then we go to the root, we go deep down into the spine, into the chakra system, and we figure out where is there an instability in us. And when we're the magician, we are going into what are we fearing? You know, some people, if you guys have not read the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, it's so good, but it talks about your upper limit problem. So somebody say they manifest $1 million, or maybe they manifest the lottery, or an amazing up level in their business, and all of a sudden their marriage starts to suffer. That's because they have an upper limit problem. They reach an upper limit and then they don't think that they're worthy of being there. So then they self-sabotage another area of their life. So when we're creating, you know, it is wonderful. It is so wonderful to learn how to manifest. But if you are not getting to the root of your wounding and your trauma and your belief systems, you can manifest a lot of things and you can lose them, right? You can sabotage them. You can let this voice come in and say, this is too good to be true. This person is literally everything I've ever wanted. There has to be something wrong with them. Or I'm going to start a fight with my family, and then that's going to create chaos in my marriage, and it's just going to make everything worse. So once we identify what our upper limit problem is, you know, are we fearing being successful on social media or with a business because We don't want to outshine our family members, our siblings. What if you are the wealthy one in the family? Will everyone come after you, always asking for money, having expectations on you to provide for them? That's a big part of the journey is, the fear of success. Okay. Sorry, I just got like a bunch of different feelings in my head. I had like tingling in my scalp. Like I just paused for a second, like, what was that? It felt like an electrical shock. Okay, moving on. Let's keep going with Micah Magic. Blessings and abundance. And it landed, I don't know if you guys can see it, it landed right on blessings and abundance. God says, just do it. God says, just do it. Maybe that's reaching out to somebody. I'm going to move these all up. I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because we don't want to interrupting the Zoom. Okay. Do not disturb. Destiny has a plan for you. Let go of the need to know and speak your truth. All right, this is a really cool story. I had one client who had her special person. She manifested him back in with an apology and everything. Then I did readings for my niece and her her high school friends, but they're in college together. They came over one night. There was 3 of them. We did snacks. I cleansed their energy on my massage table, and then we got deep into readings for each one of them. And the one girl had a reading that her ex, who kind of cheated on her, and she was like, screw him. They're 20 something. So they're very quick to like shoo off people, which is good if they're not treating them kindly. But I told her, I was like, I think he's going to be coming back in, and I think he's going to be telling you that he's growing. Last night, she literally sent me a screenshot of his Snapchat to her, and it was exactly that. He was apologizing. He was saying, hey, when are you going back to school? I would like to speak to you face to face and let you know, I've been working on myself and I just want to talk to you. And she was, almost not going to respond. And then she messaged me, was like, Michelle, you're reading. She's like, you were right. She's like, he's back and he's apologizing. She's like, do I trust him? I'm so scared. And I said, listen, all people deserve to be heard. All people deserve to apologize. And it does not mean you make a commitment. It does not mean you have to date him, but you should 100% receive this apology and then move on. See how your body feels when you're with him. So these people are coming back in and they're wanting to make things right. And I think it's because we're living in a time where there can't be any karma. And karma is when things are incomplete and something has to close that loop. And a lot of times apologies and speaking your truth does do that. It closes the karmic loop. I actually had a dream the other night of an ex, and his now wife came to me, or she called my phone. I saw her name on my phone, and she was calling me saying how grateful she was for me. And I was like, all right, Spirit, is that the energy of my ex saying he's grateful for me and everything I taught him when we were together? Or is it maybe his wife's energy, her higher self coming and saying, thank you for shaping my husband? you know? And I've done that a lot in my life. I've, teamed up, I call it teaming up on a soul level. I teamed up with a lot of different men to help them spiritually grow and evolve. And I just thought it was so unique that his now wife, who I didn't know back then, she called me, in my dream and was saying, I'm so grateful for you. So either it was his energy coming in to close that karma, because he did hurt me and he did lie to me. So it could be that, or it could be the way that I taught him not to do that. And now his wife is getting the benefits of that. So very unique scenarios, right? Lots of people coming in for apologies. I think it's because karma is needing to close itself. And I know when a divine feminine like me is about to come into union with somebody and we're about to be in final partnership, all these loops have to get tied up. And believe it or not, you'll start to see the color blue a lot. You'll start to see aquamarine, which is the high heart, which is the joy center. It's the connection of all the chakras coming together and clicking into place. So if you're seeing the color aquamarine, or if you're hearing people say that those two words, or if it's one word, I don't know if it's hyphenated or not, but it's a very unique color. So if you're hearing about it, seeing it, this is a sign that union is close, whoever you're going to be teaming up with in this lifetime. And spirit is letting you know, it's saying you've done the higher level work and now you're ready. We're now going to use Angel Wisdom Tarot. Stay salty. I have my element drink. I love this one. This is grapefruit salt. It does not taste like grapefruit. If you're not a grapefruit lover, it actually is just very refreshing. Okay, this makes sense. Knight of Fire. This is somebody, it's like a knight in shining armor coming in fast on a horse. Look at the hair blowing in the wind and the red feather. The red represents passion and fire. And this could even be like a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo. Why am I forgetting the other fire sign? Aries? I think it's Aries. Anyway, passionate, confident, charismatic, restless, events requiring immediate action, trust your instincts, stay focused, a passionate relationship. So this could mean this person who's coming back from the past, they might be coming in hot and they're like, I need you. I need to tell you the truth. I need to tell you that I'm working on myself. It is burning in my soul and I have to say it. So, you never know. People sometimes you think that they're not hurting because they hurt you, but they really are, and they have to get it off their chest. And I believe the universe jumps into people's bodies, makes them hop on the horse, and makes them come flying at you to apologize. Even 20 somethings are doing it. Yeah, they're so sorry for deceiving you. This is the poker card. This is all about deception, lies, somebody not telling the truth. It says an unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity, who have questionable motives. And I always say, watch somebody's actions. Do not take them for their words. You wait until they prove it. And what the advice that I gave my niece's friend, because she's, like 21, 22. And I said, listen, I said, you do not, because he really cheated on her pretty bad. I was like, you do not put your heart in his hands yet. I was like, if he wants to date you, you say, hey, I see you on a self-growth journey. I'm really proud of you and I want to encourage you to keep going, but I'm going to need some time to see that I can trust you again. And trust is a practice. It's not just going to be like, oh, somebody comes back and apologizes and we can just trust them now. It is an ongoing practice of watching their actions, seeing how they show up for you, seeing the communication. So I was teaching her all of this and I said, listen, like a young guy in college, he might be mature and wanting to grow, and we're living in a time where everybody's being forced to awaken and grow. So he might be ready for that. But in college, is he really willing to do the work? We don't know. So I told her to be very mindful and to protect her heart and to not quickly start snapping him all the time. Don't let him have access to her body, her energy. Don't allow him just to jump into her phone and snap her whenever he wants to. He should be consistent. I was trying to give her what to look for, and what to look for is that's missing, and what to look for that is feeding her. Because a lot of young girls, they don't know this. Nobody taught us this in high school. So I love, love, love when my nieces bring their friends over and we do cards and stuff. It's so fun to teach kids how to value themselves. Okay, little hair for myself. Okay, renewal. Reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Here we go again. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. Okay, so this could even mean like let the apology happen and then keep it moving. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has different people that they're meant to be with in this lifetime. And sometimes the past needs to be let go. Sometimes it's time to go towards the higher love, as I like to call it, because the higher love represents your highest version of you coming into union with your person's highest version of themselves. And sometimes other people stay in this energy. They stay in the lack of integrity because they're just not willing to do the work. And let's all just, pause and right now ask ourselves, man, like, how hard it is for all of us to evolve, to manifest, to undo patterns, really icky patterns of attracting the same people over and over again, attracting the same coworkers and bosses. Like, let's think about that. We know how hard that is, right? Now, if we're dating somebody and they're not even watching these types of videos, they're not even like submerging themselves in this type of content, how are they ever going to end a pattern? How are they ever going to change if they're not reading books about this, if they're not watching podcasts or going to see a healer or talking to a therapist? Like, it's going to be really hard for somebody to move out of this energy when they're not proactively trying to. So this should be a red flag for you. If you are considering dating somebody again who's not at all actively trying to better themselves, they might have just been riding your wave of you being so good at bettering yourself, and they were siphoning that energy. So please be mindful and take the renewal card and be like, okay, the past is going to stay in the past. This person's not coming with me. And I am now ready for that higher love because I want to actualize into the highest version of me. And I want to find somebody in the crowd. I'm going to look all over and be like, who is going to be my portal for greatness? Which man is going to be solid and he's going to hold me and he's going to encourage me to rise in his hands, right? Like, that's the type of man or woman that we want to be with, somebody that is a portal for our greatness. They are not at all going to diminish you. The moon. Listen to your intuition, pay attention to the signs from the divine. Unnecessary worry, let go of your fears, revelations that will make everything clear. So the moon represents the feminine energy, the yin, the sun is the masculine energy. So the moon, this is divine feminine, dark energy where she goes within, she listens, she trusts. And this is also a deep emotions. This is the subconscious, right? We're going into the deep subconscious, into the 5D, and we're doing whatever we need to do to clear our shadows. The feminine is the feeler. The masculine needs her to feel. So sometimes that's why I said in the beginning, do not dim down your range of emotions. I don't know if I finished that thought. Oh, well, I'm going to finish it now. I'm going to repeat it. If I already said it, oh, well. But ladies, do not dim your light. Men want the full spectrum of your emotions. They want to see you a little jealous. They want to see you angry. They want to see you literally go from happy, joy, peaceful, calm to a raging river, anger, frustration. But it's your delivery is what matters. So what will repel a partner is if you're coming at them like it's their fault. But as humans, our job is just to have all of the emotions. We're not supposed to stay in the middle because that's really lifeless and boring. We want to have the full spectrum of emotions, but we want to find somebody who can just stand there and observe us in it. And we're not pointing fingers, we're not blaming. I think it's Annie Lala. She's an amazing, you guys look her up on YouTube if you have not already, Annie Lala. She might even be on, I know she's on Instagram, but I don't know where she lives mostly. I don't know which platform, but she talks about no shame, blame, or making wrong. No shame, blame, or making wrong. So when we don't shame and we don't blame and we don't make our partner wrong, that gives them space to feel all that they're feeling. And it's actually freedom. And I was just thinking the other day, like when I get engaged, or when I get married, like I want to put a ring on my husband's finger and I want to say, I set you free. Like, I want you to be free in this lifetime. I want to be your portal so that you can feel the most alive and the most vibrant. And like, you are just this superhero that can go off and do anything and save anybody and help everybody. Like, I want my man to feel that way. And I want to be that portal for him. And I want to set him free, putting a ring on his finger. I want to defy all odds and say, no, like, we don't have to feel trapped in a marriage. We can be each other's portal to freedom. And I just think that's such a beautiful way of being in partnership. And that's going to mean we're going to have to feel those full range of emotions. And we want somebody that can just hold us in that process. Okay. Prayer card from Tosha Silver's Wild Offering Oracle. being enough, the masculine energy, and independence. Oh, I want to talk about interdependence too. So we have codependence and then we have independence. And in a partnership, we want to have interdependence, which is a combination of both. Or it's not a combination, but you're pulling back from, if you're on the range of codependency, you're really like, I need to be with this person 24/7. Usually the masculine or feminine is that way. And then there's the masculine or feminine, the opposite, the yin yang. They're the opposite. They want their independence. They're, usually avoidant. They don't want to be around the person. So when you're healing in partnership, you're coming closer and closer and closer to interdependence. And interdependence is knowing when to take space and knowing when to come together. So they say it's kind of like how the universe is. We contract and we expand. My hands did that wrong. We contract and we expand. So it's like inhale, exhale. Inhale is the coming together and the merging and watching movies together. And then the next morning, you have to exhale. You go take a yoga class, he goes to the gym. You go for a walk in nature, maybe he goes to a meditation class, or maybe he goes to work. Like there has to be an inhale and an exhale. It is you taking in and merging with each other and then exhaling out and having space. And ladies, if you did not know this about men, women tend to know that they're in love by being with their man or woman. Gender doesn't really matter. Well, gender does matter here because we're talking about like the genetics of men and women. With the way God made men, men fall in love with you when they're away from you. Okay? Because they want to feel, they want to like kind of like sit and feel like they don't feel as quickly as we do, right? So like I said, we are the portal for them to feel. Well, in order for them to tap into their feelings about you, they have to be away from you. They have to see what they miss about you. They have to feel the loss of your softness and your femininity and your playful energy and your laughter. Like they have to miss it. So that's why the exhale is important, because you need to create space. And when you haven't been together for a while, it's like it's so enticing to come together and inhale again. And that's what I believe keeps relationships alive. And when you inhale, when you come together, the feminine's job is to bring forth the feelings. That's your only job, feminines, is just you get to feel what you're feeling and you don't have to shove it down. They want to know how you're feeling. They don't want you to be perfect. They don't want you to talk about your business. They don't want you to be finding solutions for everything. They just want to be in your body in a way, and they want to feel you because they cannot feel without you. You are their portal for feeling. And when you turn your feelings off and you try to stay neutral on that scale of feelings, and you're just like neutral, they're not going to be attracted to you. They're not going to be polarized to you. They want to feel your emotions, even if it's jealousy. You can say, hey, I'm feeling really jealous right now. I'm sorry, but this is just what I'm feeling. I feel a little tightness in my belly. My chest feels tight. They will find a solution for you. They will want to soothe that. And when they do, you need to celebrate them and say, thank you so much for making me feel better. You always make me feel safe and you make me feel protected. And it's just this like beautiful flow of you being allowed to be all of you and having good communications. You're not shaming, blaming, or making wrong. And you're allowing for the exhale and the inhale. When you come together, you just be you and feel your feelings and express it. And you're not problem solving. That's his job. And if you do need something solved in your life, you can express it to him and say, hey, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I need to solve this problem at work and I don't know what to do. And if you don't want his opinion, then don't share it. If you think that you're going to figure it out in your masculine energy or your meditation letter later, if you're going to, it's funny, I said meditation letter. That'd be cool if like spirit could send us letters in the mail. Be like, God, can you send me this? And then we get a letter in the mail. That would be so dope. But even in like your meditations, you might think like, I'll find the solution because I can connect to my portal, to my womb space, and find from spirit what to do next. Because some of us have lived alone for so long, or maybe we navigated partnerships where somebody wasn't spiritually awakened. So we had to make all the decisions. We had to go within to find the answers. And when we do that, that builds strength and conviction, and we know what to do. But sometimes it feels good to take the load off and ask our man, like, hey, do you have a solution for this? Like, what would you do? And they love that. They love being able to solve something for you. That's one of their greatest missions in this lifetime, is to make your life easier. So going back to being enough and independence, let's read these both. We'll do independence first. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become. Help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord. So we have inner child work. And then we have being enough. And as I did that, the Knight of Wands fell and Destiny has a plan. So this might be connected to the masculine. The innermost heart says, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. So I'm pairing these two together, that somebody feels not enough. And this is a little encouragement. This is a little boost of, you are enough. You don't need to know where you're going next. You just need to show up and be you. Destiny has a plan. You don't need to know, right? And you just nurture the inner child within you. Butterfly is a message for somebody out there. And oh, this is a great message too. I just thought of the rain and how it's a good cleanse. So if it's raining where you are, we just got snow where we are. If it's raining where you are, then it's a cleansing energy. So raining could represent purging, crying, emotions. And I just was on a call, or not a call, I was texting a client from Trinidad, and we were talking about how she was dealing with not enoughness, and all women are dealing with this. I think I'm going to make a whole video on it, but it is essentially us feeling like we have to have the boobs, we have to have the perfect butt, we have to have a tiny waist, we have to have the perfect hair or the perfect skin, and it's so exhausting, right? And look at if you open up social media and you look at what we're seeing, and actually if you go out into LA and some of these other cities, it's like women are literally like plastic dolls. They have injections in their face, they have fake items underneath their skin. And I was somebody who always wanted implants. I just was always somebody who loved boobs, and I'm like, yes, I want to have my own. I want to look good in shirts. I want to have cleavage. Like, I just wanted to be I think it was my wounding, because I was molested. And I remember me and my friend, when we were like maybe 5 or 6 years old, maybe even older, we might have been 7 or 8, we found like a porn magazine. Her family was living in an apartment, and we were, I think, jumping or doing something, and we hit the ceiling, and then this magazine fell down, and we're like, oh, what's this? And it was literally a magazine of just like breasts, and like they were like covering up the nipples. And I remember that was my first, opening up to naked bodies. And so the first thing I saw were breasts. So of course, now that's impressed onto my subconscious. Now I'm more drawn to having breasts, right? Like, I saw that woman in that magazine have them. Now I need to have them. So my whole childhood, teenage years, 20s, I always said, when I have enough money, I'm getting fake boobs. I can't wait, because I just wanted to be that, right? Because I guess I was admiring it in the magazine, or me and my friend were both like, whoa, we want to have those one day. And now looking back, I'm like, thank God I didn't get them. I love my boobs the way they are. And I hope you guys love your body the way they are, the way it is. But look at what we're seeing, all these women changing themselves because of that conditioning that we experienced at a young age. And maybe if I had an adult there with me to talk to me through that and say, hey, like, you might not have this, and that might not be your path, and that's okay. You're beautiful the way you are. I don't know if my consciousness would have changed, and if my mind and my ego wouldn't have developed this pattern of needing something outside of myself to make me happy. And being enough, the not enoughness, is literally debilitating, especially when you have a pattern in you, just like I did. I had a pattern in me that said, Michelle, if you don't have breasts, then nobody will love you. And that is a really sad statement, because they're just body parts. It's not even a body part, it's fake. And it's just there. Like, that's not who I am. It's not my energy. It's not how I dance. It's not how I talk. It's not how I love. It's not how I touch. It's not how I nurture. Like, it has nothing to do with my soul. They're just physical things on our body. And for us to not feel loved because of that, that's what we're needing to transmute in our world right now. We are needing to take all of that crap out of our body and stop getting injections and stop changing who we are and embrace the body that we came here with and keep it healthy for as long as we can and love it and know that our energy in the body is what is so beautiful. So there's no such thing as not being enough. You are enough, and you are the one that has to feel that, though. And like I said, that conditioning can come from one scenario when you're 5 or 6 or 7 years old, where you saw something or heard somebody, maybe you saw your mom standing in the front of the mirror naked and she was critiquing her body. That alone right then would then create a pattern in you where you will never feel satisfied in your body until you go back and revise that, until you go back and heal that and say, no, I'm not that pattern. It's literally a cassette tape playing in your head over and over again that I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. And then you're looking for evidence of it in your reality. Oh, who's prettier than me? Who has bigger boobs than me? Who's going to take my husband? Who's going to take my wife? Like, it's just this tape. And if I can help you guys pull back and rip the tape out and say, I am a beautiful soul. My energy is what I love. My body is beautiful too. And thank you, God, for my body. And I love that I picked dark hair, and I love that I picked smaller boobs. Right? And it's just realizing that we are enough as is. Long-winded. My throat's a little raspy after that one. Holy cow. Okay. Moving on. Let's do some Light Seers Tarot. See where else this reading is going to go. Nope, we're not going to take them. That was like 7 or 8. Strength. Somebody is admiring your strength right now. You are admiring your own strength. You're loving your body inside and out. And I just heard somebody's really loving and nurturing their hair, their nails, their skin. You're really seeing the true nature of who you are, and you just want to like nurture the heck out of yourself. I just heard you've risen above those thought patterns where you weren't trusting your body. You just got 2 cards. All right, 10 of Wands. Somebody's packing their bags and leaving a situation. Okay, it's Divine Masculine. We have King of Wands and 10 of Wands. So either she's leaving a situation and he's waiting for her, or this is symbolic of spirit saying, okay, like somebody's leaving. Oh, who's leaving? It's the other card. The Divine Masculine has found his home and he's going towards it. And the Lion, again, we have double Lion energy back to back. I also feel like if you look at the King of Wands, if you look at his face, he's like staring, just like the Strength card. It's like they're both, look at their eyes. So something about eye contact. We all know the eyes are the window to the soul. So maybe as someone is fully seeing you because you finally fully see you. And again, they're feeling like they cannot live without you. They see your strength. They see that you're a warrior. They are a warrior. It's 2 warriors coming together. That's what I just heard. And look, she has the lamb, which is so sweet and loving, and he's got the lion. So they each have their little spirit animals that have guided them along their way. She has the inner lion. He's got the outside lion, which represents the subconscious and the conscious, because that's what they are. The yin yang, one is conscious, one is subconscious, one is light, one is dark. So beautiful. Okay, I have to get going soon because I have to go to the chiropractor. Let's see. With Spirit Animal Oracle, be fearless and bold. And I just heard speaking your truth. So somebody's going to come forward, just like my niece's friend. That boy was really like brave. He just reached out, sent a Snapchat to her and was like, hey, like, I need to talk to you. I have to fix this. So somebody's going to be bold and brave. I just heard they cannot even imagine you with somebody else. The thought of you being with somebody else is literally like crippling their soul. They have to come and scoop you up. All right, we're going to end with Micah Magic. Thank your guides for all that you have. Gratitude will get you into a state of receptive mode. If you guys are wondering, being grateful, even in the toughest financial situations, toughest breakdown. Yeah, a message is coming through. An apology is coming through. And again, remember I said I had that dream about my ex's now wife calling my phone and saying how grateful she was for me? That's that energy. A message is coming through showing gratitude. So expect a call this week, expect a text, an email. Horse spirit is here to bring momentum. I told you they're coming in hot. Hot, hot, hot. They realize that when you're gone from their life is lifeless. Your energy, your current energy is creating your future. Final card. I love when they jump out like that. Dream job is on the way. Okay, so if you are in a job right now, final message, your current energy is creating your future. So how you feel right now at the job you're at is going to determine where you go next. So start to clean up the mess at your job, which I say the mess is your psyche. Go into your subconscious, right? And start to imagine yourself at the new job. Start to imagine yourself doing everything that you want to be doing in the world. Maybe it's helping other women. Maybe it's helping men, becoming a coach. Maybe it's art, whatever it is. Imagine yourself doing it in your brain while you're physically at the other job. And I guarantee you, if you can do this for a week straight and just really put all of your focus on this new way of life, the universe will bring it into your reality in some way. It might come through a phone call, it might come through a message, an email, like, hey, we have this opportunity, or hey, come work at this place. Opportunities always come to us, right? We don't always go out and seek. They usually come to us, but we have to put it into our imagination station where we started this very reading off, talking about the subconscious mind, the imagination station. That's where God lives. That's where source is. And spirit is behind you, leading you. Remember, the first message was deeply listening. You're meditating and you're listening for the next steps. All right, lovies, I am sending you so much love. Thank you for supporting me, my daughter, and our channel. Comment and let me know what you thought, if this is really resonating for you. I love hearing your stories and the synchronicities with certain readings. And if you saw a feather or a badger or whatever it is, the butterfly is a big message for somebody. I love hearing those synchronicities. So please comment below. And also in the link in the comments is my coaching program is open. It closes 1/11. And then you can book a reading through there. You can book a coaching session. I'm really loving doing readings right now. I've done so many in the past week with new people from YouTube. So if you want a reading, click the link, go to my website, or you could just email me if you want, if it's easier for you. Tell me what's going on in your life and we can schedule a session. All right, lovies, I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful week. All right, peace out.